Well, thanks everyone for coming to our workshop for the Tapestry tool here. We're excited to have you and to present the tool and to give you a bit of I'll start with a bit of an intro, a few slides to give you a bit of a background about the Tapestry tool. And then I'll hand it off to Beta, and she's gonna do a walkthrough with everyone. And yes, I guess everyone probably here is on their computer or has a computer available, so you can follow along with Beta when she starts with her walkthrough. So yeah, just to get started with the first part of the workshop, I'm going to give everyone a bit of a background. Feel free to ask any questions if you have in the chat, and Beta or William will be able to answer you. So yeah, let's get started. I just first wanted to start with the land acknowledgement. Sorry, 1 second. So as employees and students of the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, we'd like to gratefully acknowledge that the work we'll be talking about today was conducted on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Musqueam people. My name is Aiden. I am a staff in the Department of Psychology at UBC. I've been working on Tapestry sort of from the start back in 2017. And I'm the lead developer on the project. And I'm here with Beta and William as well. I'll let you guys maybe give a quick intro about yourselves.
Sure. Thank you, Aiden. My name's Beta, and I'm the lead UX researcher on this project. And I've had the privilege of working on this excellent online learning tool for many years. So I'm really excited to talk to you all about it today. And William?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is William, and I'm a student developer working on this project. And I've been working as a software developer for this project for over half a year now.
Perfect. Thank you so much, William and Beta. And Stephen was going to join us today, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to. So we're just going to continue without him. But he's the principal investigator on this project. All right. So let's start with the learning outcomes. So by the end of this workshop, you'll be able to explain the key features of the Tapestry tool. You'll be able to give one or more examples of how Tapestry tool could be used in your context, give one or more examples of how Tapestry tool can be used in different contexts than your own. And you also get a chance to create different types of H5P widgets and hopefully learn how to create more of them in the future. We didn't obviously develop H5P, but we have integration with H5P, and it works quite well together and allows you to create lots of different interactive content that's engaging for the users. And finally, you'll learn how to develop Tapestry collaboratively or on your own as well, which is, I guess, the main thing everyone's here for. So just so you know about our agenda, so we're gonna spend about the next 20 minutes talking about having an introduction to the Tapestry tool. I'll go over some of the use cases, some of the things that we have done in the past, and some of the kind of the main features, just to give you a bit of a background before we dive into the walkthrough and the workshop portion. So where did Tapestry tool start? This was in Stephen Barnes. He had this idea of questioning the assumption that information needs to be presented in a linear fashion, and also thinking about, can a collaborative or learning platform be non-linear, and what would that look like? What would the affordances and limitations be? So if you think about a lot of the learning tools we use today in the university, books and blogs and websites, everything is always linear, one thing after another, set of chapters, all right, a set of pages that you read one after the other. So that's where Tapestry started to try and think about if there's a way to present information in a different way. And that's where we started with this research. Tapestry Tool is a non-linear multimodal platform designed by students, staff, and faculty at UBC. Tapestry Tool is currently an open source, free-to-use WordPress plugin. So I wanted to just quickly talk about the student-faculty involvement in the development of the tool. So originally, the tool was funded by UBC students through the TLEF program. We developed Tapestry with the help of over 30 UBC students over the last 5 years, and about a dozen UBC faculty as well. We tested Tapestry with over 1,000 students, about 500 of them in lab and another 500 in class. And we tested also our tool and Tapestry by over 2 dozen UBC faculties in various faculties and departments as well. So just gonna talk a little bit about the terminology, because we're very used to a lot of this terminology, but in order to understand, just gonna quickly go over these. Tapestry tool is used to build tapestries. So what's a tapestry? Tapestry is a fabric of interconnected nodes. So each node is basically a piece of content. So it represents a concept in the form of text, an image, a video, website, or an interactive H5P widget. Could be basically anything. And what's H5P? H5P is also a WordPress plugin. It's also available for other CMSs other than WordPress. And it allows you to create many different sorts of interactive widgets that can be embedded easily into any HTML page. And we've made in the integration so that H5P widgets can also be nodes in a tapestry. So let's go over some of the key features of Tapestry tool. In a tapestry, you can have different levels of users. They can be viewers, contributors, editors, and administrators. This is similar to how WordPress works. You can also change the access level for each node. So you can, for example, limit some of the nodes in a tapestry to be only viewed by certain users and not by others. And you can do the same thing for editing. For example, you can limit which nodes can be edited by which users. So it's quite powerful in the way that how much control you have over the access level and what people can see and edit. And you can also selectively release the nodes. So you can have some nodes that are hidden or locked, and they can get unlocked or viewable by users after either a certain date passes or a certain time passes. So if you want to release certain things on a specific date or time, or they can also be released based on the completion. So if they complete certain nodes, you can then unlock the other nodes for them to see. This allows you to limit the users from seeing some content that might be a bit more advanced before completing something that's a bit more basic and kind of a prerequisite for that. Tapestries can be embedded elsewhere as well. So you can take a tapestry that you've created or someone else has created, and you can actually embed it into a CMS blog or on Canvas, for example. And also Tapestry supports many different media types. So you can add videos, different types of videos, so YouTube and Kaltura, and you can also upload your videos. You can add a lot of the different H5P content types that are all, and if you want to read more about H5P, you can go to h5p.org. We'll go a little bit more over them in the next few slides. And then obviously you can add text, other websites, you can embed them, or you can add links to other websites, and you can also add WordPress posts as well, which are quite powerful as well. And finally, Tapestry supports a process whereby students can submit contributions to a Tapestry for review, and administrators can approve or reject the submitted content for public viewing. And they can also leave comments to let the students know why their node was rejected, for example. All right, so let's look at some use cases for Tapestry. And let's start with how it's used in the classroom. As a collaborative multimedia mind mapping tool, Tapestry can be used to present ideas as a very rich mind mapping presentation. Tapestry has also been used for individual student projects and group projects. So we've had cases where individual students have created tapestries, or that they work together to create group projects. Tapestry is used to educate students about, has been used to educate students about EDI-related issues, cross-cultural communication, disabilities, gender, and sexuality. So these are some of the modules that we've created, and they're available on our website, and they're all open, part of the open education as well. For example, students exposed to a tapestry about intercultural communication were subsequently more likely to sit next to students in their class from different cultural backgrounds in their classroom. And this was from a research that Simon Lelouet did in one of his class at UBC. It's also been used for remote field trips. So this was in geography. So, they had different field trips that were done, and they laid them out in a form of a tapestry in a geography class. And there were a lot of courses where students, instructors basically co-design the course content, including H5P widgets, together on a single tapestry. And the content that was created, basically with the permission of the students who created it, was then used in following semesters. This was by Dr. Siobhan McPhee in Geography 498. And outside of UBC, we've also used Tapestry in a project called TIDE, which is transitioning youth with disabilities into education. So this was a project that was designed to help youth with autism spectrum disorder transition from high school into a post-secondary education and/or the workplace. And this was quite customized actually for TIDE. And it's available if you go to mytide.ca if you want to find out more. Tapestry Tool is also used for professional development. So we've created a lot of tapestries with BC Support Unit to educate researchers about patient-engaged research. So again, this is a good example of presenting information in a non-linear way that's much more useful for viewers than in a linear way. Another one is ACE-BC. This tapestry was created to educate post-secondary employees about how to best manage accommodations for disabled students. And again, a good example of where nonlinear presentations has been really helpful. So yeah, I guess I finished a little bit early, but it leaves us a bit more time for the walkthrough. So I guess maybe if anyone has any quick questions, maybe I can spend 1 or 2 minutes.
Did anyone have any questions before we move on to the next portion of the workshop? Okay, Sunita, sorry. I just saw your hand. Hi.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much for giving us this introduction. It sounds really great. So in the chat, Judy and I were asking kind of similar things about do we have examples of it being integrated with Canvas so that students don't have to go to yet another place, but instead it's all together in one place.
Yeah, like so as I talked about it, it's possible to integrate Tapestry into Canvas, and actually we recently released a feature that makes that much easier. You basically Beta can quickly show that in her walkthrough, but yeah, you could easily click a button. It'll give you a code, and you can just paste that into Canvas. In terms of examples,
So this is something we have to request, correct?
No, you can actually do it yourself. So
Okay.
whenever, if you're creating a tapestry, whenever you have it, you can easily copy paste the code by clicking a button in Tapestry, and just paste that into Canvas, and that will allow you to have that embedded into Canvas.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Excellent. Are there any other questions? All right, I'll just share my screen then. Okay. All right, so just one moment. Okay, so hello. We're just now going to be beginning a guided walkthrough portion of this workshop. And in this portion, we're going to go over the basics of navigating Tapestry Tool, creating H5P content, as well as just basic authoring of tapestries as well. Throughout this portion, feel free to ask any questions that may arise, and you can do this by raising your hand using the Zoom feature, or you can comment in the chat and a moderator will get back to you. Alternatively, they may ask you to move into another breakout room that we have open if you have any technical questions as we go throughout. And again, yeah, if you have any technical difficulties, just let us know, and we're happy to help out with anything that comes up. In addition, please open the links that will be provided to you in the chat and follow along as we go through these tasks step by step. So we encourage you to follow along as we go through. Now, please open the workshop handout, which I put into the chat, and I will just begin by showing you what's kind of going on here. Okay, I'll give you just a moment to do that. Okay, so to begin, I'm just going to be giving you an overview of how to navigate the tool before we get into the authoring part. So to begin, please open the following link, which I'm about to put into the chat. And this is just a sample tapestry that exists, which has some walkthrough or introductory content, but it'll give us an example of what moving around a tapestry actually feels like. And then if you'd like to follow along in this document, you can go down to page 4, and that's where we get into navigating Tapestry Tool. Okay, so I have this tapestry open here, as you can see. And just to begin, you can open a given node on the page by pressing on the node and pressing the media icon on the top. This will open the content. You can close this panel by pressing the X button or pressing outside of the box. And then you can navigate between the nodes on your page by pressing on the nodes. So I'll just press on multiple choice question, and that'll move me to multiple choice question. I'm scrolling down the page. I can press on sandbox, and that'll open up more nodes for me, etc. And then once you land on a given node, if you want to see more information related to that node, you can press on the sidebar, and you can press this little button on the right-hand side. And that'll open this sidebar that has a little bit of extra information, and then the references would also show up here. In addition, you can also search up any nodes throughout this tapestry by using the search icon here. And here you can search via the title as well as the status. And if you're authoring or you're creating tapestries, you can also search up who the author of the tapestry was. Right now, I'm not logged in, so I can't see all of the authors in the tapestry. I can just search by title and status. Does that make sense so far? Did anyone have any questions? If not, then I'll just keep moving forward. And yeah, again, feel free to kind of play around with this tapestry a little bit, get a feel for what it's like to move through it. And you can also spend some time playing with this tapestry after the workshop as well. It has a lot of good introductory information. Okay. So now, if you have the document open, this document, we're going to go down to the next section where we're actually going to start to log in and create H5P content. So I'm going to ask you to move on to page 8 in the document and try logging into the following website or the following link, and I'll put the link into the chat as well. And your login information should have been shared with you in the chat, so you can just use that to log in. And then if you're having any issues with locating this information, just let me know. And once you get to this page that I just put into the chat, you'll end up on our homepage. And right here next to the word tapestries, you're going to see a login button. And you can use this to log into the page itself. So I'll just give you one moment to log in. And if you're having any difficulties, again, just let us know. Let me just check the chat really quick. Okay.
So are we creating an account then?
You should have an account. Did you receive a username password in the chat?
Oh, now I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I have just finished sending them out. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Okay. I'll just give William a moment to do that, and then you can let me know when that's good.
Yeah, it's already sent. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, so once you're logged in, you're going to end up on the Tapestry Tool homepage. And this is where it's a hub for where all of your content is going to end up. And it's the easiest way to navigate around the Tapestry Tool. But we're just going to begin by going through and actually developing a few pieces of H5P content. But beforehand, I want to give you a bit of an overview of what H5P content is and why essentially we think it's so useful and where its utility lays. So H5P is a WordPress plugin that allows you to develop HTML5 content and embed them within your site. H5P allows for the development of a variety of different content types, such as interactive videos, 360 virtual tours, and much more. We encourage you to check out the H5P website, which is found within the document that you were provided with, to learn more about these different types of content. We're going to begin by actually creating a piece of content, which can later be embedded within our tapestry. And we can do this by navigating to the W icon in the top left. And here we're going to be in the WordPress backend of Tapestry Tool. And here you're going to look to your sidebar. So I'll just make this bigger so you can see. Down to the H5P section, you're going to see a little H5P icon. And here you're going to press all H5P content. And as soon as you get to this page, you'll see that there are a few pieces of content that have already been developed here. And we're just going to press Add New to make a new piece of content. And just right off the bat, you'll see that there are dozens of different content types here under H5P. But just for the sake of time, we're going to try just making one of them. So here I'll choose an interactive video. And we're going to title our interactive video. We can call it, What is Tapestry Tool? And you're going to press Add a Video. And here you can use a video link. I have one handy here. And we're going to press insert to insert the video. Now, if you go on to step 2, H5P will prompt you to essentially put in a bunch of different interactions. So you can add all sorts of interactions, and they will give you instructions on how to do this. But essentially what you're going to do is press on any one of these interactions. So like you can add an image, a link, questions, fill in the blanks, all sorts of different content within your video itself. And then finally, you're going to press create to actually create your interactive content. And now we have our video alongside all of our interactions. And then we're going to take this content and actually embed that into H5P. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a minute to try adding your own H5P content. And your handout will have a few steps for creating a few different kinds of H5P content types as well. So I'll just let you give that a try, and I'll give you a couple minutes to do that. And then if you have any questions, just let us know. And while you're doing that, I'm just going to put the H5P link into the chat as well, so you can check out their website. But yeah, there's so many different types of content you can create. Honestly, the possibilities are endless with H5P. And it's so incredibly cool that you can take what you're creating and actually put that into the tapestries you're going to make. So if everyone's comfortable and has had a chance to create a piece of content, we can move on to the authoring portion. Did anyone have any questions so far? All right. Okay. So now to actually create our tapestries, and I'll just show you where we're at in terms of the document in case you want to follow along. So we just logged into Tapestry Tool, and you created your H5P content by following these instructions. And these are the different examples in the document itself. You can create a virtual tour, for instance. Now we're going to get to the how to create tapestry section, which is on page 13. And I'll walk you through step by step how to do this. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, Judy, I'll give you a minute just to catch up. I am sorry that I may be going a bit.
No. Don't wait for me. Don't wait for me. Just keep going. I'm following.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we're going to go back to our Tapestry Tool page. So we're still in the WordPress backend. Now we want to go back to our homepage and create our tapestry. Now, how do we get back to our homepage? We're going to press this little button in the top that says Winter Institute Workshop 2022. Here, your site name will always be there, and you can always navigate back to your homepage. So if I press this will take me back to that first page that we were on, which is our homepage. And here there's a bunch of good resources as well that you can check out. And you can always contact us at info@tapestrytool.com to set up your own site. And here you're just going to press add tapestry to add your first tapestry. And I see someone's already added their own tapestry, which is very exciting as well. So we're going to press add tapestry. You're going to see a pop-up that asks you to put in the name of your tapestry. So I'm going to call this demo tapestry. And I'm going to press OK. And this will create the shell of our tapestry. And from there, we will go on to populate it with our content. All right. So right off the bat, you're going to be able to either add your root node or you can import a tapestry. And if you want more details on how to import and export tapestries, you can see at the bottom of our handout, we have some documentation on exporting and importing as well. So there's some more advanced settings there. And we can also go into that if we have extra time at the end as well. So I'm just going to start out by adding our root node, which is essentially your first node, and you're going to build on from there. So I'm going to press add root node, and all of a sudden you're going to see this panel here. And this is the authoring panel, which you can use to add your content. So right off the bat, we're going to add our title. So I'll call this root node. You can add a description, which will show up in the sidebar. So this is my description, just a sample text. And then from under the content type section, you can choose from a list of content types. So whether that be text, video, H5P content like we just created, external links, WordPress posts, and much more. I'm going to start out by creating a text node just for the sake of simplicity. And we'll just put some sample text in here as well. So this is a text node. And we can move on to the next tab, which is called references. And here you can put whatever references you have. So these are my references. Under the appearance tab, we can change the appearance of our node. I'll just add a simple background color. And I'd like you to be mindful of the readability score that your colors are giving you. So for instance, if you have white text color on top of a dark purple, that's going to have a higher readability score than, for instance, like a white on top of white will have a 0% readability because people won't be able to easily see the contrast. So you'll want to make sure that you're choosing colors that are very appropriate in terms of accessibility. And we're just going to also, we can hide the progress bar and hide the media button, but I'm just going to skip over those for now, and I'll show you what those look like later. In terms of the access tab, I won't go into too much detail in terms of what the access permissions do, but we'll go into locking nodes in just a moment. And finally, this is just the copyright information. So now that we've filled in all of the information regarding our node, we're just going to press the publish button. Save and publish at the bottom right. And now we've created our first node. Now, if we want to see the content for our node, we can press on this little button at the top, the media icon, and that'll open our content. And we can press outside the box to exit the content. And then we can see our content description and references by opening the sidebar. Okay. I'll give you just a moment to add your root node or to finish adding your tapestries, and then we'll keep going from there. So I'll give you just 1 minute. All right, so we'll continue. To add more nodes off of this first piece of node or your first piece of content that you've added, you can press on this little plus icon. So I'm going to press on the plus, and you'll see that another authoring panel will open up. Here we can call this, for instance, topic 1. And choose from the content types again. This time I'll choose H5P and use the H5P content that we created just a few minutes ago. So we created what is Tapestry Tool, and I'll just populate it with that content. And here I'll skip over the references and go back to appearance. And now I'll hide the progress bar and the media button, and we'll see what that looks like. We can also have the content open in full screen if you wanted to take up the entire page. And then finally, we're just going to press save and publish again and see what that looks like. So now we don't have a progress bar and we don't have the media icon, and we just have a new node that's been added. And ignore the weirdness that's happening right now. I think that there's just something with this site that's happening. All right, so now we can add another node to our tapestry by pressing the plus icon. And I'll call this one topic 1 and topic 2. And here we can make this one a video node. And you'll see that there are a few different kinds of videos you can add. So it can be file or video, YouTube, or a Kaltura piece of content, but we don't have any Kaltura here right now. I'll choose a YouTube link, and I'll just copy paste this YouTube link here again. And finally, we're going to press save and publish. And here now we have the YouTube video, and it also added the background from the YouTube video as well, which is nice. So you'll have that option and it'll pop up for you. I'm not too sure if you see it due to Zoom, but you'll see that I had the option to add the background from the video as well. And I'll just add one more node here so that we have something to play with. Call this one topic 3. And this time we can make this into an external link. And this could be any kind of link, and you can have it open in a new window or have it embed in Tapestry. However, I'm going to have it embed in Tapestry, and I'm going to show you something interesting that you can do, which is embed a tapestry within a tapestry. So for instance, I can take this tapestry that we played with earlier. I can copy the link and then put that link here. And then finally press embed in Tapestry. And then again, we're going to press save and publish. All right, and then here I can open up this node and you'll see what that looks like. So as you can see, the tapestry itself shows up here. It's embedded within this particular node. And then another interesting feature that Tapestry allows for, and it's also something that we really encourage, is being able to find connections and show essentially a high-level overview of how different pieces of content connect. And you can add in these connections by using the plus icon again, and you can drag to any node on the page. So for instance, if I want to go from topic 3 to topic 1, I can drag and you'll see an option that'll ask you whether or not you want that connection. You'll press OK, and then you'll have a new connection. And you can also disconnect things or disconnect nodes by pressing on any given link and then pressing delete link. All right, did anyone have any questions? Again, I'll just ask for anyone who might want to go over anything before we keep going forward. Okay. And so another feature of Tapestry Tool is that you can essentially choose how many nodes you show on the page at a given time. So for instance, if you want to have all of your nodes showing at once, you can drag the depth slider over to the right. And if you want to have fewer nodes visible at a given time, you can move the depth slider to the left. So now that I've moved it to the very left, you'll see that there's fewer nodes showing. And then if I move it to the right, there are more nodes showing. And depending on where I leave that, the depth slider, that will be where users will see the page when they come onto the page. So for instance, if I take this link right now and I share this with you, you will only see topic 2 and then this little baby coming off of it. But if I were to open it up all the way and then share this link with you, then you would see all the nodes on the page. And again, the search feature becomes really useful here when you have multiple nodes because it allows you to quickly search your own titles, but it also allows you to see who actually authored the content. So right now I'm the author of this content, and so you'll see that I just show up here, but let's say somebody else is authoring alongside you. It'll make it easier for you to know who is working on what, especially if you're having students working all together on one tapestry. All right, and then let's say you create a node and you want to edit it and you want to change the content that's within it. That's very easy to do. You just press on the little pencil icon and now you can edit this node. So for instance, we can edit our root node, change the content, and then once again, you're just going to press save and publish, and then your content will be published once again. And then I think we do have a few minutes left, so I'll just show you what exporting and importing can also look like. You can export and import your tapestries by pressing on the triple dots right here. And then you can press export/duplicate tapestry. You'll see this little pop-up that shows up that allows you to export a tapestry or duplicate it. So depending on what you want to do, you could export the JSON file and then import it into another tapestry template or shell, or you can duplicate your tapestry. We recommend that, for instance, if you've created a tapestry and then you want to make some fundamental changes to your tapestry, just export it and import it into another shell and then play with it from there so that you're not essentially changing the foundational version of the tapestry that you've created. The same way that you would do so with any kind of documentation. Were there any other questions so far? I'm happy to let you play for a few minutes and kind of have a chance to play around and add a few notes. And if there were any questions that come up, please let me know. And Aiden and William, if there were any questions that came up, we can also take those as well if anyone sends you any direct messages.
No direct messages for me, but I think Bree had a question. So you were just asking, is there versioning? Can we roll back changes? We do actually have this as a feature. I'll talk about it, but not in this current version of the Tapestry.
May I
Yes.
ask a question? Okay. This looks great. I'm always slow in doing this stuff. So would it be possible to maybe request for a one-on-one at one of these? I don't know.
Absolutely. We would be happy to meet with anyone here one-on-one to go through all of this content again, to do a demo, or we can also sit with you and help you to map out your tapestry as well. So let me just put our email into the chat again, in case you want to meet with us.
So just out of curiosity, I don't know if you have the answer for this or not, but has anyone from biology got in touch with you or using this? Do you know? Are you aware?
For my awareness, I don't believe so. But Aiden, do you remember anybody from biology reaching out to us?
Oh, I don't remember anyone.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I am representing biology currently, but so Stephen talked about it and I was really curious. So when this came up on my list of things to at least attend to learn more, I will be the person who will take this to my colleagues in biology, and I think there will be interest. So I will be in touch for sure to see what we can do with it.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'd be happy to meet with you and your colleagues as well to provide you with any information that you'd like to learn about.
Okay, great.
Yeah, thank you so much again for attending and for all of your incredible questions. All right, so we've gone over most of the basic fundamentals of creating and editing tapestries, as well as creating and editing H5P content. You can take about a couple more minutes to add a few nodes and play around with your tapestry. And again, feel free to ask any questions that may arise. And then once a few minutes have passed, we'll move on to the next section of the workshop.
So I have to apologize because I have to leave fairly soon. So I may not be here for the next session, but I'm intrigued. So I will be in touch. Thank you again.
We can always definitely, like you said, we'll set up something separate with you, and we can show you the 3.0 interface.
Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be great. So thank you so much for putting this up.
It's our pleasure. And if you have a chance, if anyone has to leave early, would you be able to, oh, sorry. These are some forms that we have after the session. One of them is just to give us a bit of insight into what went well in this workshop and what we can help facilitate for further workshops, as well as a form for Winter Institute and making sure that we're doing a good job here. So yeah, if you have a chance filling these ones out.
I had a question in the chat, but I'll just unmute if that's okay. I'm wondering if we wanted a demo site just for kind of noodling around on, is that something that we could contact you all to set up, or do you have just a basic demo site with like a shared login you'd use?
We do have a sandbox that you can use if you go to our website, Tapestry Tool, tapestry-tool.com, and then click on the sandbox link. You can, if you just want to play around, you can do that. But if you email us, we'll be more than happy to set up a site for you as well.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay. Should I start on the next part, Peter? Yeah.
Yes.
Right, so let me go ahead and share my screen here. All right, so we're really excited. We've been working a lot on the new version of Tapestry called Tapestry 3.0. In this version, we have a lot of new features, and we fundamentally rethought the usage of Tapestry, especially when we realized tapestries are getting very large, and in a large tapestry, people get lost in all the content that's present in front of them. So we thought about how can we make this the interface even more useful, especially when it comes to large amount of information that's trying to be displayed. And our solution is Tapestry 3.0. So let's look at this. For example, I'll just start with the basics. You can already see that it looks a little bit different from the current version of the Tapestry. I can basically view the nodes. You can see there's different sizes of the nodes now. And you still have the depth slider like we had before, but now I can actually click into each node and it'll kind of zoom into each part of the node. And I can easily just go between all of my nodes and look at and dive in basically. So I can start, for example, here, this is a tapestry about organisms. And there's a lot of examples in here. Then if I'm reading about this, for example, I can open up this node and view it, but at the same time, I can also just dive in and see what's there. And another cool thing about this interface is there's zoomability, so I can actually use my trackpad here to zoom into the different parts of this, and then I can pan around, and it's more of a full screen experience. And at the same time, you can also move around using this mini map. So it's familiar with anyone who's used many different types of tool. Like if you've used Adobe tools, for example, you'll be very familiar with this. And what we have here is called layers. So each of these is a different layer. So this is basically, if I reduce this is my top layer here is organisms, and then then you have the unicellular and multicellular organisms and microorganisms, and then I can just again zoom in and it'll automatically reveal the nodes that are available to me. So that's one feature. Another feature that's part of this new interface is this toolbar that you see here. So I can actually drag, I can actually add nodes, drag them into here, and I can create a standalone node. Sorry, I think I need to have this full. So for example, I can add this new node, and there we go. And if I want, I can, I can add more nodes. Again, I can add another node here. Sorry, I don't know what's happening here. And yeah, but usually it should allow me. I'm not sure why it's not doing that. Anyways, we're still obviously working out the last few little issues here, but you still have all the other tools here that you had before, but here now you have new features that new ways of doing the same thing. And someone was asking also about the history. In this version you also have undo and redo, so if you do make a mistake, you can easily undo, or if you want, you can redo as well. We also have changed a few things here. So we're actually planning on removing a lot of these buttons that you see here, and you'll be able to do most of everything that you did before over there using this new toolbar that we have here. And also go in here and change for example, the levels for this, so and bring it higher up. So if I am at a higher level, I can still see it, but for example, if I push this down into like a lower level, I can no longer see it because it's at a lower level. and I can still obviously connect things together. And we're also building a tool to actually help migrate people from Tapestry 2.0 to 3.0 and try to create new. Basically, we're going to try to figure out what the levels should be. If there is a hierarchical tapestry already, we'll automatically turn that into this new zoomable interface here that we have. And yeah, I can also just quickly show you the embed feature, which is also part of the new set of features we'll have coming out. So here I can just basically click, like you saw, I can just click this button in the toolbar, and I can just press this button, copy this clipboard, and copy this tapestry to my clipboard, and then I can just go to any page, including Canvas, and just paste this, and it will appear just like you see in the preview here. It will appear like that in your thing, and then people can actually interact with this in another page, like for example Canvas. Yeah, so I'll keep it short. I think those are the main features of Tapestry 3.0 that I wanted to share with you today. And if there were any questions I can answer.
There was a question in the chat from Bree. Does 3.0 have an anticipated launch date?
Yeah, we're just basically ironing out the last few small bugs, like the one you just saw. So just doing a bit more testing, but we are expecting to release it in early 2023, probably in the next month, most likely. Okay. So I guess we'll just finish with any other questions. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, thank you again for joining us today at this workshop, and we are really excited to have shared it with you. And yeah, we're also really excited to help you create your own tapestries. So get in touch with us, and we'll take it from there. And please, take a minute to fill out the survey form that Peter has shared. That would be super appreciated.
Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you so much, Bree, for asking such great questions. It was a pleasure being able to show you what the tool does, and we're happy to meet with you for a one-on-one session as well. So yeah, feel free to contact us at our info email. Take care.